my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. I'm going to be doing my monthly reset. I started this last month and now I'm going to be doing these videos every single month. I am so excited. It is currently August 29th, so I'm filming it a few days early. That way y'all can watch this when you're doing your resets. I found this really helpful to make sure that I'm going into the new month with positive feet, kind of checking in on what worked last month, what didn't work, so I can kind of use that going forward. We're gonna have a little monthly recap, monthly goal setting, planning, budgeting, and a little content section inspired by Hannah Ashton. She does these videos and I love her content section, and I'm always taking like notes from like her favorites from the past month when it comes to like video, books, things like that. So cheers. I just have my little glass of water and we're gonna get right into this. As y'all saw how I started off this little video, we did some cleaning. My apartment just needed some of that, you know. I needed to like wash my sheets, refresh, make sure my space was looking good. It always just makes me feel better. So take this as your sign before you head into the new month. Just do like a little deep clean of your space. You'll definitely go into it feeling much more energized and refreshed. I know I always do. So we're gonna start this off with a recap of August. So to be quite honest, this past month was a slower one and it was honestly really nice. August is usually a really busy time for me because it's back to school, and this was my first August ever not going back to school, which was just like a wild feeling. I moved my little sister to college and said goodbye to her, and kind of really that helped me click, like I'm not going back. Like I'm in a new stage of my life. It definitely didn't hit me that I was sad about some parts of college being over forever until this month. So that was kind of interesting to work through because I feel like at graduation time I was just like really ready for the next stage. In this month I kind of like let myself go through the like feelings of like leaving college and moving into this next like adulthood stage. On a really exciting note, I got my first ever full-time job. I interviewed for it this month and I got it, and I started on September 1st. So September I will be starting in my full-time work era. I did a full vlog about that, which I will link down below if y'all are confused. Don't worry, I'm gonna be doing just as much YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and all of that, but it's gonna be a really fun new phase and kind of like a new refresh on my content too, I feel like. So yeah, I'm gonna be a digital marketing specialist and I'm really excited. Honestly, I was ready for some change. I'm so used to having so much change in August that it just felt like the perfect time to start a new job and kind of get new routines and new schedules going. All right, we're flowing into the budgeting portion. This is always the scariest. I sat down and did it before filming so that I was like a little more prepared to film this. I kind of learned that from last month. It's better to like start the video having everything ready to go. So a lot of y'all asked in my last video, I believe, yes, this is from Pepierre. It's not an actual like budgeting notebook. I'll show you a blank page. It's just a blank notebook. But basically, like last month I did the same thing. I put everything on a credit card personally besides my rent. And so it's really easy. Then I have a spend analyzer and it breaks down everything that I spent. So we had my goals for last month versus what I spent, and let's run through it. And then we're gonna set our September budgeting goals. I will say we did a lot better than last month and spent significantly less than we did in July. July was a really expensive month, so I was really trying to reel back and cut back on my spending in August, which I feel like I actually did a really good job of. So let's unpack it. So first up, on living expenses, my goal for August was $500. This was a lot lower than normal goal-wise because I got free August rent because they were doing construction on my building, which honestly, shout out to my building because it helped me be a lot less frustrated with the construction because they were doing full new siding on like where my window is. So for like multiple weeks there was someone like in my window like banging at like 6 a.m. It was a lot, but you know what, it was well worth the free rent. That was really budget friendly this month. So that's why I originally set that low. When I go into setting my monthly budget, I don't always just reflect last month. I also think of like things I have planned and what's ahead so I can like do it more accurately. And I spent $320, which I am very happy with, and I spent $503, so $3 over, but honestly really good. Those are like different variables of basically living is anything that's like a set thing I don't have really control over. So I'm feeling good about that. The next category is restaurants. My goal was $300. You might be like, $300 on going out to eat, girl, cut back. I totally agree, but one, I do eat out a decent amount, especially like fast food and stuff, which I'm trying to work on, but sometimes it's just convenient, especially when I live alone and like I don't have anyone to cook these big meals for, like besides myself. So that, I love getting coffee out, and then the main expense of that is like social things. I go out with my friends usually like once a weekend, and that really adds up, let me tell you. Like, you feel like you're just going out for a few drinks with friends, and that's like $100 a night right there. So I will say that my goal was $300, and I spent $340. Although last month I spent $462, so I'm feeling pretty okay with that $340. I do want to try and get it down. I'm trying to spend less when I go out and be more aware of it, because I feel like that's the one time I can be like kind of done with my budgeting and just be like, sure, like whatever, instead of like kind of paying attention to prices and, you know, how much I'm buying and things like that, which is important. All right, so next up is shopping, and my goal was $150. Again, I was really trying to make my goals this month lower because I wanted this to be a big savings month after having such a big spending month in July. And on shopping, I spent $123, so we went under budget, which I'm feeling very, very excited about. Honestly, I would say 99% of my shopping this past month was stuff for Ollie, because I got him a lot of new toys and lots of different things, basically just because I'm trying to kind of get figured out like how much he needs brain stimulation when I'm gone, like different toys for that, and like what he actually plays with and what he doesn't. So I went to Petco a lot of times and I spent a lot of money there, but honestly that's okay with me. Again, before I'm starting this 9 to 5 workflow, I want to make sure my pets have like enough to entertain them, so picked up a lot of toys there. All right, next category is grocery, and my goal was $290, which was really cutting back for me, and I actually spent $237. And I will say I'm filming this a few days early, so I could spend a little more in some of these categories, but I don't think I'll spend more on grocery because I went grocery shopping yesterday. So we went under budget in that category, which I'm feeling really great about, because I honestly thought I was 100% gonna go over, and so that proves to me that we can do it. We can tighten things up a little bit, so love that. Then I got gas, which my goal for gas category was $120. I spent $123, so $3 over budget, which is not a big deal at all. I will say shout out to my parents, because they surprised me and filled up my gas tank this past weekend when I stayed over with them, and so that definitely helped me get closer to that goal. I spend a lot on gas because I live down in the city and I do a lot of driving out to the suburbs, which for me is an expense that is very much worth it, so yay for that. And the last category, so my travel budget was $0 because I spent a lot on travel last month, if y'all remember. I spent some money on Uber, so I'm putting my Ubers in my travel category, but the bachelorette trip we had booked, the Airbnb canceled on us, so I no longer have my friend's bachelorette thing to go to, so I'm getting the money back for that. So I'm giving that category like plus $139. You know, I subtracted the Ubers from how much I put forward for the house we were gonna stay at, but basically I'm counting it as like I made $139 back in that category, which is great because last month I spent so much in the travel category. So my total budget for the month was supposed to be $1,460, and I actually spent $1,187. So we came in under budget this past month, which I'm very excited about. Not having rent this month made that easier, but I planned that out in my budget, so we did good on less spending. And so now let's set our September goals, kind of thinking about what's ahead this month and making sure I allot, you know, amounts in those categories for what I am going to be doing. All right, so really quick, and I'll move into the next segment. My goals for September: for living expenses, $1,700. I'm gonna have rent again, and that I also additionally add to that all those extra variables that don't change month to month. Shopping, $300. This is a much bigger shopping budget than I usually give myself, but I haven't quite figured out how much I'm gonna be in person at my new job. But what I do know is that I don't have very many like semi-professional work clothes, just things that are appropriate. I feel like all of college, you literally wear like workout sets and like crop tops, and even aside from having this job, I want to get kind of like a little bit more of a mature wardrobe, but still like stylish and trendy and fun, and like, you know, y'all know my style. It's like kindergarten teacher vibes, like bright colors, patterns, that kind of thing, but just like a little more modest so that I can wear it in the workplace. So I'm giving myself a much bigger shopping budget because I know I'm going to do some shopping and order some things to wear to my new job, which is totally fine. It's a little celebration to me, you know, for getting a new job. Restaurants, $200. I want to cut back in that area. Grocery, $290. I think that's a good budget for me grocery wise. Gas, $120, staying the same. Travel, spend $0. Okay, that's fine, because my extra category, I always put an extra category with $100 just because you never know. There's gonna be car issues, health issues, whatever. But for that extra category, I might be going to my little sister's family weekend, and if I do, I'm gonna have to pay for someone or someplace to take care of Ollie, but we'll just count that as the extra category, so that's fine. We'll check in next month and see how I do budget wise. Hopefully I come under again. That's pretty exciting, especially after how insane of a month July was. All right, besties, so now it's time for the goals segment of this monthly check-in. This is my favorite because I feel like checking in with myself once a month and even like once a week is a lot more, you know, making change than when I check in with myself once a year, because life changes a lot from month to month. I definitely have learned that. So first up, we have our goals list from last month. Let's go through what we did and didn't do. Number one, work out 5 times a week. I would say it probably looks more like 4 times a week. I did a pretty good job of staying on top of a routine with this, and I feel proud of myself, but I also know most weeks I did not hit actually 5, unless you're counting walks. I go on walks every single day, but I like to walk and additionally do the gym. So I didn't go to the gym 5 times a week. Go on a date. I did go on one date. You know what, that was my goal, one date. I'm kind of taking a little dating hiatus right now, and I have been, so I'm glad my goal is only one. I definitely wouldn't have hit 2, and not really like, I don't know, that's not going to be one of my things this upcoming month, which y'all know I go through phases, so, but that's just the phase I'm in right now and how I'm feeling. Stay on top of budget, which we killed that goal, y'all, as y'all just heard. I'm feeling very proud of myself for that, cutting back on my spending. The weekly podcast, we did not crush this goal. I don't even think I put a podcast up in August. I needed a little break. I've kind of been just like, I don't know, in a lot of different places mentally, a lot of changes coming up, and I didn't feel like making a podcast episode, just to be fully transparent. But I sat down and had a brainstorm session today, and I'm feeling a lot more, you know, excited to come back to that. So podcasts could be coming back this coming month, and it will. And then I wanted to do a new biz thing and work on the LLC. That took a pause, but I also interviewed and got a new job. So for me, like, life changes so much even month to month. That wasn't even on my goals list last month at all to get a job, but for me that kind of like overrided those like personal brand goals right now, because that's something that I decided mattered to me. So it's okay. Keep apartment clean. I didn't do the best job of this, but we're getting better each month that we live on our own again. All right, so I set goals new for the upcoming month, and I went ahead and just wrote them in my planner so that I can look at them every day, you know, and be like, this is gonna happen for me. Number one, work out 4 times a week. I think this is a much more doable idea because I don't work out on weekends. Weekends are just for fun for me. And I know that there's typically at least one day a week where I wake up like my back hurts or not feeling my best or whatever. And so sometimes I just want to, or like I'm cramping, whatever the case may be. On those days, I like just going a long walk, which I guess you could count as a workout, but I'm kind of saying like 4 times a week, get to the gym. So the 5th day, I would like to like get movement in every day and walks every single day, which I do because I have Ollie. He's good at holding me accountable with that, but the gym 4 times a week. My next goal isn't like as like very, like you can't like count it, but just in general, I want to get a routine with my new job that I'll be starting, which I'm sure they'll form over time. I've been working on like creating morning and night routines that will go with my new schedule. Like I've been going to bed at like 9:30, which is honestly really impressive for me. 3+ cups of water a day, Stanleys of water. I think you're supposed to have even more than that. I just like the Stanley because it's a really easy way for me to measure it, but I'm really, really bad at staying hydrated. So honestly, even just 3 is huge for me to start with. And so we're gonna really do our best. We're gonna do our best. Get back to the podcast. We kind of just talked about that. Upload 2 times a week on YouTube. If you missed my last vlog talking about how I'm moving into this new corporate America phase of my life, and people might be like, oh my gosh, you're not gonna post on YouTube anymore. That's not true. I'm actually going to start being a little more routine with it and make sure that I have 2 videos a week for y'all. Sundays at 9 a.m. I believe, and Sundays at 9 a.m. and Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Central Time for both of those. It's gonna be my posting schedule for September. We'll update again after a month of seeing how that works with my new job schedule, but I'm really, really excited for the videos I have in this upcoming month and want to make sure I don't neglect YouTube at all with taking on this full-time job. Next, post on Reels every day. Y'all who follow me on Instagram probably don't even realize it because I don't post them to feed, but it helps to grow my Instagram a lot. It's literally grown me like over 6,000 followers in a few months. So yeah, my strategy is like first thing in the morning, I post a Reel. And it just goes to my Reels tab. I don't share it to followers so it doesn't annoy people who follow me. So I've done a good job at that, but I want to keep doing a good job at that. Post on TikTok every single day. I want to clean my space and dishes daily before bed. This is kind of more of a set goal instead of like stay clean in general. I want to be like before bed, all the dishes should be in the dishwasher kind of thing. And Bible time every day. I recently have been working on this goal and making it something that is part of just my routine that I naturally do by habit, and I've gotten a lot better at it, but I want to make sure with starting this new job and everything, I don't let these new routines I'm trying to build go to waste. So reading my Bible every single day is very important. So doing that. And that's all my goals. I have a financial goal, but I'm not going to share it because that's a little more private. But yeah, those are the goals for the upcoming month. Comment down below your top 2 goals for the month ahead. All right, moving into planning. I kind of already sat down this morning and did this because I was feeling inspired. Y'all know I use, what brand is this? Day Designer? Yes, I use a Day Designer planner and I really, really like it. So just looking into my planner for the month ahead, like I said, I have the upload schedule of Wednesdays and Sundays. I have a really, really exciting brand deal that is honestly the biggest I've had in a long time, and I'm really, really excited about it. And the brand just like connects perfectly with me, so feeling really good about that. I'm starting my new job this month. It's my little sister's family weekend this month, and I'm gonna be a bridesmaid in a wedding shoot, not for a wedding, but for a wedding shoot. So I'm really excited and looking forward to that, and it looks like that's all I have on my schedule right now, but we'll see what happens, and I'll bring you guys along in my weekly vlogs that I'm going to be starting when I start my new job. Alright y'all, and the last little category is the content. Like I said, I got this idea from Hannah Ashton. She's been making monthly resets for forever, which inspired me to do this, and I just felt so much more like in charge of my life since I started doing this, which has been like a month, but I just feel like I'm like actually keeping track of everything. So my content wasn't like huge this past month. Number one though, I've been loving the Libby app with library. It's how you can get literally free books. It's basically like going to the library, but all you have to do is set up an online account for a library card, and then I can rent books and get them on my Kindle $0, which makes me want to read way, way more. My favorite book that I read this past month was the 3rd book in the Summer I Turned Pretty series. I wish I had it with me to show y'all the cover. Posted it over on my Instagram story while I was reading it. I read it in like a day and a half. It was everything I needed. If you watch the show, we can't be waiting like 2 years to find out what happens. So it was really good. I also haven't read like just like a young adult book in so long, and it's just like so not heavy and light and easy to read and quick and page turner, and it's just, I loved it. So 10 out of 10 recommend that book. That was also kind of like my show I watched this month. I'm very sad to not have my weekly The Summer I Turned Pretty show watching with my mom. That's what I've been doing since this whole season has been happening. I'm definitely team Jeremiah when it comes to the show, I'll say. So let me know down below if y'all watch the show, which one you are. But that book was so good, and definitely maybe changed some of my opinions about things, but I don't want to give any spoilers. And yeah, that's going to be all for this monthly reset video. Let me know if there's a new segment of this you want me to add, or if you love everything that I'm currently doing with it. If you want it to be more vlog style videos, or if you like this like sit down check-in about life. So I feel like it's just a perfect way to start the month. Like I said, I'm gonna have that new YouTube schedule coming, and my plan is to do a work week in my life every week, and then to additionally have a different video, whether that's like a reset or a sit down video or whatever it may be, or just like a day in my life, weekend in my life. Let me know. So comment down below video requests that are fall related for that second video that's not the week of my life I'll be posting. So that's the current plan, at least for September. But I love y'all so much. Be sure to check me out on Instagram and TikTok because I'm super active over there. My podcast is Changed Caption. We're gonna work on bringing that back, but there's already a lot of good episodes out there that I've recorded in the past, so check that out. It's on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast, and I'll see you lovely sunflowers in my next video or somewhere else on the internet.
Baby, shampoo and come and